Today is November 24th, and it's very early in the morning. Meaning is about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:15 to be precise. I would like to talk about a Latin expression that has been used the wrong way for a while, and that was used wrong in a movie just to distort the actual meaning of it. I don't know. I guess that's the way things are being done. If you want to discredit something, you throw some shade at it, right? So this saying is quid pro quo. All right? And if you did watch and paid attention to the Silence of the Lambs movie with Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, you must have picked up on that saying, I mean to say. So let's go to the definition. Quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
All right. Is a noun, something that is given in return for something else or accepted as a reciprocal part of an exchange. Okay? I can't pronounce the words properly. I'm backed up with a sleep again. So, my apologies. The second meaning is something understood as another, an equivocation. This for that, giving something to receive something else, something equivalent, something in return. Right? An equal exchange. Something for something that which a party receives or is promised in return for something he does or gives or promises. So, in not so many words, this would mean basically a contract. So, a contract can be between persons, between a person and a corporate entity. Yes, when I think corporate, I always think dead entity because it kind of brings me to the corpore, the body that is dead. It is not a living being. However, it's using mercilessly living beings to exist. And now all of a sudden, we're getting the impression that we are no longer needed. That's something that I keep on saying in many ways, but the gist of it is we are no longer needed, right? When it comes to that particular part of what I'm talking about right now. I'll probably go all over the place with this because, like I said, I'm a bit tired. Do not forget, you can always increase the speed on YouTube if you decide to listen to my thoughts. However, I'm thinking for a while now about this expression. It has been used in Silence of the Lambs, or the Lamb. I think of the Lamb. I can't remember. In any case, it's something atrocious going on. So the serial killer, the psychopath, and now my mind goes to all those psychopaths in the world that are doing weird things. Maybe not as weird as Hannibal Lecter, or maybe even more interesting. I don't know. I'm hoping that Hannibal Lecter was the epitome of evil. But as always, this is a subject that remains open to interpretation. And as more information is gathered, he might be dethroned by someone else, which is not a fictional character, right? Could be. Don't know. In my life, I'm starting to think that I've met all the psychopaths possible. This latest one is still at it. And that's partly the reason why I had to go to the hospital. Mind manipulation seems to be something that he enjoys. And unfortunately, sometimes things take a turn for the worst, and that's not for me, quite frankly, because the best thing that I could do is spend my birthday in the hospital and 2 weeks of a very interesting treatment that I'm just going to probably speak about in another video. I would like to stick to this quid pro quo thing. But to me, there is no quid pro quo when you're dealing with a psychopath. Because psychopaths do not have what it takes to keep their promise, other than wanting you killed, maimed, I don't know, cut in pieces, grinded, fed to the dogs, and the remaining be burned. I don't know. There are many, 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 many ways a psychopath is imagining how they would end someone's life. I know it sounds horrid, but I'm going through this, and I'm actually going to I'm thinking I'm going to write about this, because women are considered as very vulnerable and easy to manipulate, which is not true. Woman nowadays is doing so much more than a man, and I'm sorry if I sound judgmental, but ever since with the what is it called, the women's revolution, the rights and this and that, equality and stuff, it's not equal at all, folks. Oh, you want to work? Okay. Well, you're going to work for money close to nothing. And you're going to work at home too, not working from home, work at home, meaning taking care of the family, the children, indulging your hubby or your counterpart, take care of them the best you can, and then who takes care of you, that shall be determined later on, because hey, you need to go to sleep so you can wake up in the morning and start the torment all over again, right? I know men listening to this are not going to be pleased with what I'm saying, because in a way I'm throwing a shade at them. I'm not, to be honest. That's not my intention. My intention is to show, not necessarily show, but to bring some observation to the forefront, and not to think in terms of men and women and differences and this and that. But by default, a woman needs to clean the home, needs to cook, needs to take care of the kids. There are awesome dads out there too, don't get me wrong. But from this woman emancipation process, it started stinking long time ago. Ever since it started, right? But now it's implemented and it's normal. Okay, so the woman needs to do this, this, and that. So an evil entity, let's say, thought about coming up with this grandiose plan. The women want equality, eh? Well, let's give them that. So, I don't know when this started, in the 40s, I guess. It was before women were homemakers. They were taking care of the kids. They were taking care of the whatever needed around the house. Well, she wasn't repairing, building, most likely. She wasn't into that type of stuff. But she had a 24/7 job already. And then there was this need to make more money because the living conditions are always going up, except for your salary. That one can stay down. It can give you like a measly percentage to shut you up. But if you look at what's going on, why is there inflation? I want to know. I know I'm going on a different tangent, but I'm just wondering. Oh, there is inflation. I like they're exactly like a balloon, okay? Somebody blows air into a balloon, right? And that balloon grows bigger. So that's, to me, inflation, described very rudimentarily. You keep blowing air into a balloon, and you keep blowing air into a balloon, and the balloon gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and at some point it goes, puck, oops, it's gone. But who is creating the inflation? That's what I want to know. And why is the inflation created? Oh, you have to ask an economist. No, thank you. I don't want to ask any economist to give me some lame excuses as to why the cost of living is going up constantly. And actually, no, not only constantly, no, exponentially. Now we deal in exponential increases, because we have a crisis, right? We have all sort of crises. We have bike lane crisis. It took 25 million to build them, and it takes 50 to rip them apart. I mean, I don't know, but to me, this kind of sounds like somebody's money laundering our tax money. Yeah, that's what this brings to mind. Like, how can you say that this costs this much? They started this project, I don't know who they consulted. I mean, where I'm coming from, there was no need for a bike lane, quite frankly. All you had to do is roll against the flow on the side of the road. This way, you, on your bike, are able to see the incoming traffic. And you would not need to rely on the cars behind you to keep the safe distance. I realize I spoke before about bike lanes, but to me it's an idiocy of such proportions that we all have to really open our eyes and think. If you are an avid biker, you're going to hate me right now, but the fact of the matter is, when traffic is congested intentionally under the lame excuse of someone caring for all those people who love to ride their bikes, is utterly ridiculous. It's been shown to us many times over. All those things meant for someone's safety, they seem to be nothing much than a safety pin. A pin that is fragile and breaks apart. Maybe it works for a little while, but it breaks apart because it's something temporary. It's like a bandage you put on a wooden leg. Anyway, the quid pro quo thing is getting to me because I recently looked at the poster for Silence of the Lambs. lamps. And Jodie Foster had red eyes in that poster. And then I found another one where she was side by side with Hannibal Lecter, aka Anthony Hopkins, and he had blue eyes. And I'm like thinking, oh my, look at that. They should both have blue eyes. Why does she have red eyes? In my opinion, the eye color should have been reversed. Hannibal Lecter has red eyes. Yeah. And Jodie Foster has celestial blue eyes. And then, yes, you forgot the symbology with a butterfly stuck on her mouth. As in, she cannot speak for herself because, I don't know, maybe she's possessed. She has red eyes. I know I probably make a lot out of nothing, but this is how little things become bigger things. And that's why we need to pay attention to the most ridiculous little things, because they have a way of exploding in your face while you're not watching. Somebody's inflating that balloon over its capacity, and then it does break. Maybe give some heart attacks to someone who's not expecting something popping right next to them. But this is my rant about quid pro quo. I've got some other ones coming. Love you all. Stay safe. And most of all, stay sane.